The restaurant hummed with warmth and quiet chatter, a perfect setting for the evening. My wife, Lauren, sat across from me, her fingers tracing the rim of her wineglass, eyes distant. I thought we were here for a romantic dinner, a moment to reconnect. Instead, she placed her napkin down, met my gaze, and said, "I'm leaving you." I blinked. The background noise faded into a dull roar. Then, she smirked. "I've already packed my things. I didn't want to do this at home, figured it would be less dramatic this way." I opened my mouth, but before I could speak, the restaurant doors swung open. And when she saw who walked in, the color drained from her face. Love turns to ash so subtly you don't notice the flames until everything is gone. Lauren and I had been together for 12 years, married for 7. She was beautiful, ambitious, and sharp, qualities I once admired. We built a life together, or so I thought. I worked tirelessly to give her everything: a dream house, luxury vacations, and the freedom to pursue her passions. But somewhere along the way, I stopped being enough for her. The late nights, the cold glances, the way she spoke to me as if she were tolerating my presence, it all made sense now. And yet, she sat across from me, acting like this was just another business meeting. I should have been broken. I should have begged her to stay. But I had known this was coming. And I had planned for it. Lauren reached for her glass and took a slow sip, watching me like a predator who believed the kill was inevitable. "I've been seeing someone," she said, tilting her head. "And before you embarrass yourself, yes, it's serious." I let the words settle, let her think she had the upper hand. I leaned forward, resting my elbows on the table. "Is that so?" A flicker of irritation crossed her face. She expected anger, tears, a fight. Instead, I was calm, too calm. Her smile faltered, but she recovered quickly. "I'll be moving in with him." She toyed with her necklace, a nervous habit. "And before you ask, yes, I'll be filing for divorce." I inhaled deeply, pretending to process the betrayal. "And who, exactly, is this mystery man?" She opened her mouth to answer. Then she saw him. Her hand jerked, knocking over her wineglass, the deep red liquid spilling like blood across the tablecloth. The man who had just walked in met my gaze, then smirked. Because he wasn't just anybody. He was my business partner. Lauren's breath hitched. "No," she whispered. "No, this isn't possible." I wiped my mouth with a napkin and leaned back, savoring the moment. "Ah. I see you've met Daniel." Her lover. My business partner. She looked between us, her face shifting from pale shock to something uglier. "You knew." "Of course, I knew." I chuckled. "Did you really think you could sneak around behind my back without me noticing?" Lauren turned to Daniel, searching for answers, but he simply shrugged, slipping into the seat beside me. She stared at him. "Tell me this is a joke." Daniel sighed, adjusting his cuffs. "It's not." That was when I saw it, that first flicker of realization in her eyes. This wasn't just about revenge. This was a trap. Lauren sat back, her hands shaking slightly. "What is this?" I folded my hands together. "It's your reckoning." Daniel pulled out his phone, tapped the screen, and slid it across the table. Lauren hesitated before looking down. Her own voice crackled through the speakers, "Once I have access to his accounts, we're done. He's too trusting. Too pathetic to see what's right in front of him." Her blood drained from her face. She shot up from her chair. "You recorded me?" Daniel sighed. "You're not very careful with your words, Lauren." The panic set in. I saw it in the way her breath quickened, the way she clenched her fists. "You." Her voice trembled. "You set me up." I tilted my head. "I gave you enough rope to hang yourself." Lauren turned to Daniel, desperation in her eyes. You told me you loved me. Daniel smirked. I told you what you needed to hear. Her world shattered in real time. The restaurant had fallen silent. People were watching now, whispering. Lauren's breathing was ragged. You can't do this. Oh, but I already have, I said, sliding a document toward her. That, my dear wife, is a prenuptial agreement you conveniently forgot about. The one that ensures you walk away with nothing. Her eyes scanned the page, hands trembling. You wouldn't. I would. And I did. I leaned in. You thought you had the perfect escape plan, didn't you? Thought you'd humiliate me, take half of everything, and ride off into the sunset with Daniel. Daniel chuckled. Yeah, about that. You're not my only affair, sweetheart. The last piece fell into place. Lauren's lips parted, disbelief washing over her face. You bastard. Daniel shrugged. Takes one to know one. She turned back to me, and for the first time in a long time, I saw something real in her eyes. Fear. Lauren slammed her fists onto the table. You can't ruin me like this. I exhaled, standing. Lauren, you ruined yourself. I gestured to the waitstaff, signaling for the check. I'll be sending the divorce papers tomorrow. I suggest you sign them. She gritted her teeth. And if I don't? I smiled. Then I'll make sure the entire city knows who you really are. Daniel stood, fixing his tie. And trust me, sweetheart, I know everyone. Lauren trembled. Her empire, her reputation, her security, it was all crumbling in one fell swoop. I turned to leave, pausing only to glance at her one last time. You thought I'd beg you to stay. I let out a low chuckle. But you were never worth fighting for. Then I walked away, leaving her in the ruins of her own betrayal. The divorce was finalized in record time. Lauren signed the papers without a fight. She had no other choice. She moved out of the city soon after. I heard whispers of failed relationships, of jobs that wouldn't hire her, of a woman who had lost everything. And me? I thrived. The weight of betrayal was gone, replaced by something lighter: freedom. As I sat in my office one evening, overlooking the skyline, I sipped my whiskey and exhaled. She had called me pathetic. A loser. But in the end, I was the one who walked away whole. And that was victory enough. She thought she'd leave me broken. Instead, I watched her crumble. And the best part? I never even had to lift a finger.